哎、那是游戏哎，它的产品是一个游戏哎，太猛了吧！
你是说要通过游戏才可以提交吗？
哇，但是好像车爆掉了。关灯掉了。
Credit will be the cheapest in the world, best insurance system in the world, most reliable voting systems. You talk about liquidity, the most efficient stock markets, the ability to take a $5 million company and have a micro IPO. These are the experiments that are going to be conducted in Kenya, Ethiopia, and Rwanda, and many other places. And you know what that means is they're going to work And when they work, they'll create billions and then eventually trillions of dollars of wealth. And with wealth, there's power. And the rest of the world will see that. And they'll say, me too, I want to get on that. But the only way they can is to become like us, to join this movement, to change the way those systems work, to demand integrity and inclusive accountability and transparency and all the things that we're now enabling. Now, there's a lot of work to do. The rest of the roadmap has things like Basho and Voltaire, and next year is the first year where we do 2 of them instead of 1 of them. We're already working real hard. We've been working for 3-4 years now on Basho, for 4 years on Voltaire. So what happens? Well, main chain, the programming model improves. Keep doing things to make the developer experience better. It's going to be kludgy for a few months, as all new platforms are. Flagship applications come out, special accommodations are made to make them run faster and more optimally, these types of things. So there's a lot of Shelley-related work and Goguen-related work. And there's a whole group of people that worry about that. There's more than 12 development companies at this point that work on Cardano's core infrastructure all across the world. SUD never sleeps on development of Cardano. Basho is about saying, okay, let's get the Hydra age here. Let's get a lot of this traffic into the hands of the stake pools, get it off-chain, into side chains, to explore with new computational models. Place for technology like Ethereum. There is a place for technology like Yella. There is a place for technology that has yet to be invented. The point of Basho is to open that up and bring it to the ecosystem so that we can run at a scale of millions to billions of users sustainably. The point of Voltaire is to ensure that this system is forever in the hands of the people who care the most about it, you, the community, and all that come after you. We've already seen the beginnings of this with Catalyst, but there's a lot more work to do. Protocol parameters have to be in the control of the community completely. The SIP process has to be strengthened. We have to create standards process, especially at the smart contract layer. In addition to that, the hard fork combinator has to be totally in the control of the community. All of these things, these are cleanups. But in the process of doing that, we also have to do things like write a constitution for Cardano. Why not? You have rights. Monetary policy is different than just adding a new ledger rule. Adding a post-quantum signature scheme is fundamentally different than deciding whether to add a new sidechain or not. So there needs to be a hierarchy of concerns here. And how do you write a constitution? You write it with the people. And that's what we're going to be doing with you. We're going to come together, ratify that, put that in the ledger, and treat it like a biological system where Cardano understands its own design. Spend all this time writing formal specifications. One good reason to do that is so that you get high-quality software. But another good reason to do formal specifications is that it's the DNA of the system. And what do cells have? DNA inside of them. The system should know itself and its own design. Because then, any person who has a full node has a full copy of all that meta, all of that design. That's how you create resilient organisms that can never die, is you build in redundancy into them. You build in replication into them. And you create a process upon which that DNA can evolve. And then we'll see dozens of commercial clients flow from that. If you don't like Haskell, it's okay. We have Rust, JavaScript, Python, Java, mainstream languages that mainstream developers know. It's important that when you're doing new things, you do it right and it's correct and you have high assurance. But let's be honest here, there's a reason there's 25 million developers. There's a reason there's a diversity of programming languages and thought and infrastructure. So, as the Voltaire age grows and we get the DNA of the system, the specification of the system into the chain itself, and the community's in control of where do we go in the deep future, there's also going to be a Cambrian explosion of infrastructure. We're already seeing this with DC Spark, building all this beautiful Rust infrastructure. Projects like Ada Light, I think there's one called CC Wallet. There's dozens of these floating around. And right now they're nascent and young, but with the resources of Catalyst, the rigor of the community, the ability to follow a process, they will grow. And over time, they will grow to be larger, bigger, and better than anything we see in the rest of the space, because they're built from the bottom up, resilient, hundreds of them. Dozens of languages will become hundreds of languages, and this ecosystem will continue to strengthen, continue to be more useful. Now, a lot of people call us a ghost chain, which is just damn perplexing. I even wore a Ghostbusters outfit just to prove a point.
回来了。
And so,
他一开始有点
刚刚怎么样
down，
啊
后来就还好。
how can we get such great
哦，
然后他这个
You mentioned the
说
mystery.
ADA 吗？
对，
哦
它的
ADA
小历史本身
2.44
也是一个
Last few months, we've
也
been
是一个
negotiating
NFT 游
with
戏哦，
Fortune
你可以在里面找到一些宝物。
We
嗯
closed the deal.
他刚标了一波到2.44了。
花了花，
你这样应该赚不少哦。
So who did
但
we
是我
close
的
with?
全部都在质押，所以我也看不出来他有没有赚到。
哦，
Talking about
Oh.
digital transformation of
应该
the
可以拿出来
individual
卖
and
掉
the
了，只
rights
是就
of
是
humanity,
就
that's
不能赚那个
fun.
利息。
But businesses need to transform as well.
但是我觉得那个利息，
Business that came by the office
感觉你那个币值的涨幅就会吃掉那个利息，对不对？
transformation of our business, and
对啊，
we would like to have a discussion
比如
about
说我
how
如果
do
把它
we
卖
bring
掉，然后
blockchain into
就
this.
是低点再
How
买
do we
进，搞不好都
use
比
these
放着
techniques
赚利
and
息。
concepts like DIDs
对，
and microtransactions?
对啊，
而且也有可能1年之后刚好就到了低点，
together.
那你多了一些币，可是那个币值下去，说不定也没有比较赚
那我是不。是应该把它拿出？就是这样，我就把它损失了3AD。
没有啊，你不是说它会多少吗？
And we said,
不
boy,
然
that
我等
sounds
他
like a
下
lot
次
of
奖
fun.
励
Let's
出来之后，如
let's
果
go
真的太少
workshop
就
that.
算了。
About
对啊
3-4 days a week.
先
of
应该会先放着吧，我觉
again
得
and again and again.
感觉
Eventually
暂
got
时
to a
不会
point
暴
where we made a
跌，
deal
不
with
知道
Boost
很
Mobile.
难讲。如果没有什么意外的
DIDs,
话啦，
decentralized
你会
identifiers
觉得它
on
会暴
every
跌，你
single
还
phone. 8 million of them.
看一下哦。
但是我没有找到他说的那些。
So that's just an example, and
Hmm.
there's so much to build on top of that. One can build wallet infrastructure. They can build a DApp store. They can do all kinds of things and bring this to the consumer's phone, just like that. Now, why us? Well, because
等一下要不要来
there's peer
Blankos 啊？
review, there's high assurance software, and there's just a damn good
那我等一下先
community
洗澡洗好再 Blankos。
that cares about these things.
哎，你不是说可以
The
卖
other
了
thing
吗？
is, when you think about the growth
Right.
model there, where is Dish going?
Blankos
They're
啊
becoming an ISP.
30
You
号
guys know about T-Mobile, you know about
Oh.
Sprint, you know about Verizon. These are cell phone companies, right? Well, Dish is a telco company, and they're moving into the 5G space and connectivity. In the coming years, more than 70% of America is going to be covered by their 5G network. Well, how do you build a network like that? You build it differently. You build it with new technology. You build it with new standards. And maybe you can build it with a little bit of blockchain in it. How about they be the first ISP to figure that one out? And that's the magic and beauty of the technology that we are building here today. It's built to last, and it's built to transform things. Your life as individuals, the lives of Fortune 250 companies, the lives of governments
哥伦
themselves.
比亚、挪威、新加
Takes a lot
坡
of，hard work. It takes a lot of heroism.
这些
It
地
takes
点
a
怎么
lot
了
of？unique advancements and developments and challenges that exist. But we're never dissuaded by that because we were born of resilience. First, as an industry that was always mocked. Second, as an ecosystem that never shake in the media and never seems to get a fair consideration. And third, as people. We're here to stay. Cardano's here to stay. Voltaire and Basho are just beginnings to a new era, the Cardano 2025 era. Let's look at the challenges before us. In the next 10 to 20 years, there will probably be quantum computers. That's a dragon we got to slay. Well, we're going to do that together. In the next 10, 20 years, we're probably through this movement going to invent entirely new ways of voting and governing. We have to contend with difficult questions like confidentiality and privacy. How much privacy should you have? Under what circumstances can things be de-anonymized? These are super difficult questions because there's the rights of the society. Over the next 10 or 20 years, we see
他的游戏有点淡，找不到那些东西。
an unholy alliance between governments and corporations.